believe, and when I tell you, I feel it so strongly in my body, and I almost cry now because I'm about to tell you. The Mandala effect. We change what happened. So when we go into a church, we're going to that. So I'm about to cry now. And what we see Jesus Christ on that. We see him on a cross when we're going to church, and naturally we don't feel good about it. But I feel it so strong in my body right now. It is like we manifest, we make that happen by looking at it, by our consciousness. It didn't happen. It's like a Mandala effect. So I need you to believe the truth. It's so sad because it's about to happen, and many people are like, know the Yeshua and Jesus, and I feel for him so strong, even though they don't believe in the Bible or anything. But anyway, I want you to know, not in this timeline. Anyway, I just gotta tell you this. So I love you so much, and just know that it didn't happen, not on this timeline. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Bless you.
But it's one thing having celebrities that you hear about, that you remember from a different timeline, being dead and now they're alive. But when it's someone personal that you actually know, that you interact with, then it's slightly different. It's a bloody shock. Now, when I first came to Barrow-in-Furness, I worked for the MOD, BAE Systems, Royal Ordnance, etc. But when I was with them, one of the roles that I undertaken alongside my job was the Charity Challenge Coordinator, and I got in touch with a lot of people who do charity events and that for the local community. But the thing is, doing that, I met this woman who initially worked at the company. I'm probably best not naming her, but I got to know her at the company, and from there she done her charity work, and then she worked in the shop, and I've known her for, I've known her, let's say 14 years, and then she died. And I remember a funeral, because we were away in Manchester, and I got told about it afterwards, and I remember the controversy regarding it. She had a lot of issues, this woman. She had I've not named her, so it doesn't really matter. She had a bad spine. She had various spinal conditions, actually. She had, one of the things was she had false teeth, because I think she had pyorrhea when she was younger, or she had an accident, so she had all the teeth out. She had multiple operations on, I think it was a heart and her hips, and somewhere else as well. She had a lot of ongoing issues. Now, on the funeral, I remember hearing afterwards that there was a big issue there. There was people kicking off because no one had seen her for a number of weeks. They only found her body after a few weeks, and it started to putrefy. So there's a lot of people kicking off saying, well, you should have gone to see her, no, you should have gone to see her, you're this relation, you're that relation. And at the funeral itself, there was problems because they couldn't find the false teeth to bury with the false teeth. And there was a lot of dramas, a lot of little issues regarding it all, and regarding the flat that she was found in. There was a pathologist report, so they'd done an autopsy. There was a lot of things connected to it. You know, I know very, very clearly that she died and how people felt about it, because where she worked, she'd not long since been sacked and worked somewhere else, another shop, and they'd sacked her, and everyone was feeling guilty that he'd sacked her. Like, it was very odd. And then, so it's like, oh, you know, she was nice, to no harm to no one, you know, you take people as they are. Yeah, I found out that she's still alive. and she's working at one of the big superstores. And it was like, I can't have that. I can't believe that. You know, it's not like something I'm watching on bloody telly, like. So I went down to the superstore at the time that she was on, and there she was. So it's like, you know, you get that feeling that you're seeing something that you shouldn't be seeing. Yeah, it's madness. It's madness. I don't know what to make of it really at the minute. I don't know. It's weird. I mean, how many more people would you see that? How many more people are gonna come up? You know, from my previous timeline that have died that are going to be here now. You know, and the answer's going to pop up. You know, very odd. It's just weird. It's weird to sink in. It's a weird feeling. I don't know. I just find it all odd. You know, seeing someone. Yeah, I know. You know, a number of people spoke to me about a funeral. Yeah, I mean, it's just getting weirder and weirder.
And she said that he died in prison in the 1980s when he got put away. That there's many other people that share the same opinion as her, who can remember him dying in prison in the 1980s. Can you? Others say they are nothing but false memories. Also, if you do remember him passing away in prison in the 80s, don't be worried, because this is the most commonly discussed celebrities' death after death that is discussed by people. So don't feel like you're an alien. Tell me if you agree or if you can actually remember what they're saying that it is now. So I'll give you the original instance, and then I'll give you what they're saying that it's always been now instance. The Queen song, We Are the Champions. Everybody knows that it goes, we are the champions of the world. But no, it doesn't do that, it doesn't say that. Oh no. That's it. There's no of the world at the end. There's never been of the world at the end. I remember him having a monocle. Everybody I've asked remembers him having a monocle. But no, he's never had one, ever. He's never ever had one. Darth Vader. Everybody knows the famous line as being, Luke, I am your father. But now, today, if you watch the film, even if it's a film from the 70s, it says, no, I am your father. CP30, I always thought we were all gold, whole gold. But no, he's always had a silver leg. Yeah, that's right, he's always had a silver leg. The famous Mona Lisa, she's famous for being emotionless, like more or less frowning, depends on what you see. But now it's changed 100%. She's smiling now. How can a painting hundreds of years old change like that? I can't understand why things like this have all changed, and for what reason? Are they just trying to mess with us minds, make us think that we've always thought something, but no, it's actually being the other way around. That's a possibility.
Hey, so yesterday, which was Sunday, I was lying in bed. My wife's gone to the gym and I'm watching some YouTube videos. I come across again the Mandela effect, which I've seen a few times, and to be honest, I didn't really get it. So I decided I'll just watch a video and just try and understand what is the Mandela effect. So I kind of get it, and then I watch another one which is called something like 100 best examples of the Mandela effect, or something like that. So anyway, there's one of them in there. The one that really stood out for me was the Berenstain Bears, because as a kid I read those books hundreds of times. And when they're saying that the Berenstain, the actual name Berenstain, is spelt A-I-N, I think, rather than E-I, you know, like a German spelling, I presume. I'm like, no, it's definitely an E. Like, I've read that book, like I say, hundreds of times. I've read it to my kids when they were younger and so on. So anyway, I jump out of bed and I go and rummage through the bookshelf and I find a Berenstain book, Bears book, and sure enough, it's the new spelling with the A rather than the E. And I'm like, what? This is so freaky. It's like, no way, this can't be right, you know? So anyway, then my wife comes home and she, you know, and I start telling her about, you know, she says, so what have you been doing? I said, I was watching some videos and so look, I watched this one about the Mandela effect, and I get halfway through the sentence of about to tell her about the Berenstain. I just mentioned Berenstain Bears. She goes, yeah, you've already told me. I said, but hang on a sec. How could I have told you? I've only learnt it 20 minutes ago, just been at the gym. He goes, no, you've told me already. I said, no, I haven't told you. How could I have told you? When did I tell you? She goes, you told me like 2 months ago. And I'm like, no way. What the hell is going on? That it totally blew my mind. And so I'm thinking, well, I'm trying to remember doing this, and even this was yesterday, and today I still can't remember. And my youngest daughter, who's 15, was there as well. So they're telling me that we've already had this experience where I've come out with this thing about the Berenstain Bears. We've gone through the bookshelf, we've found it, and I have absolutely no recollection of this whatsoever. So what I'm thinking is, okay, from an outsider's point of view, that if you don't know me, you could think, well, you just got a bad memory and you've forgotten. But me knowing me, and other people that know me reasonably well, would know that that is extremely unlikely, because, well, for one thing, I don't remember everything, and there's certain details that I really don't care about and I'll forget them instantly. However, anything to do with interesting phenomenon like this sort of thing, there is just no way that I would forget this. Not a chance. Like, so the other alternative is that my wife is a prankster and that they're making this up, and that is, no, she's just not the prankster type at all. Not at all. She just doesn't get off on that kind of thing. So I'm thinking, and you know, the only thing that really makes sense to me is that somehow or other, maybe there are alternate universes, and somehow I have slipped in and out of one or two or whatever. I just don't know. I don't have the answer to it. All I know is that I've never ever had anything like this happen to me.